Automation, automation nation, automation, automation nation, automation, automation nation, around the nation, automation, automation nation, automation, automation nation, automation, automation nation. Around the nation, around the nation, around the nation. Welcome to the Automation Nation podcast, the show for business leaders, tech aficionados, and those who are just simply curious about where technology and business are going. Automation Nation is your gateway to understanding automation, AI, and the future of business. Don't get left behind. Tune in now and subscribe for more. Don't get left behind, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in. Subscribe for more. Listen up. Take notes. Take action. That's what we're about here on the Automation Nation podcast. And we're back again, folks. Another fantastic automation conversation. I got my great guest and friend, Kendall Matthews. Man, you got kendallmatthews.com/ads. You got that?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
The heck did you pull that off?
We're talking about I'm automating myself. Intelligent automation. It has to start with me, Rob. It has to start with me.
Listen. Okay, now if that's not a better way to introduce somebody in regards to intelligent automation, that it doesn't get any more intelligent, ladies and gentlemen, than to have your own name as the website for folks to come and figure out what is going on. So listen, every time we're here, it's the same thing. You have a question, don't you be afraid to ask that question, because the only dumb question is the one that was not asked that you needed the answer to. And when you didn't get the answer, you suffered. So ask that question, okay? And also, it doesn't matter if you are watching this on YouTube, Twitter X, LinkedIn, just drop it in the comments. And if you're listening to this podcast, you can always connect with Kendall and any of our guests, of course, in the description. You can always find them. All right. And so we're going to have a good conversation today. I'm going to read a snippet of this bio, just a little bit, because I like it's real simple. If you go to Kendall's bio on LinkedIn, it's real simple, right? What I do is I help businesses become happily involved with intelligent automation technology. That's it. That's what he does. How does he do it?
That's it.
Sharing helpful videos, checklists, and spreadsheets to help owners and executives make decisions. Good decisions, that is. That's it, Kendall. That's all you're doing.
That's it. That's it in a nutshell. It's how can we make better decisions? How can we have fun doing that in this life journey that we're on?
Yes.
Because we only have so much energy to make all these decisions that we have to do on a day-to-day basis. So let's try to automate it. And just like my own name with the website, it's like, all right, people have a whole bunch of questions. Let me go ahead and put ask on the back of this. And so they can ask questions and I can answer those in the videos, creating checklists, creating emails, and all the things that I do to be able to answer those questions that business owners or co-founders and executives have in their processes in the day-to-day business, whether it be demand generation or whatever that, or even business growth, revenue opportunities. It's the opportunity to how can we ask better questions in this life now?
How can we ask better questions? Man, that's good. John Maxwell says to get the best answers, ask the best questions. So, if you can find a way to do that, you are in good shape. Kendall's also the head of marketing of Electronique. And so he's doing a lot. He's helping companies win, helping people win with this understanding of intelligent automation. Before we jump into this conversation, man, we're powered by Simply Automate. So we ask all our guests this question. We actually got two questions. This is the first one. If you could simply automate one thing in your personal life, Kendall, what would that be?
Gotcha. What I would automate is all these documents that I get from bills. So it's the documentation process, because I love still paper, and I want to see my bills coming in. but then also the online. So be able to utilize, and I have been able to do that. So talk about automation to find out if a bill comes in, where are we at with am I getting the best rates? Am I
Mm.
getting the best? Do I need to go out and check on any different providers or brokers
Ooh.
that I have in my life that I work with? Because why? There's so many more subscriptions a part of our lives now, right, Rob?
Mm.
And I'm looking at, how can I optimize this process of subscription overwhelmness, and what is the best ones for me in my personal life and my family, and then to find out how can we optimize my family budget, my dollars better.
Mm.
So it's all about getting the documents that I have, automating those, and then helping the decisions that need to be made as a family to better use our opportunity for then getting in the lane of generational wealth for my friends, families, and those people that I love to work with.
Mm. I love that those two words together, generational wealth. I love it. Wish I'd have known more about that when I was younger. Didn't learn about that until I got older. I'm glad that I have a chance to teach my children and my young people about it, man. What inspired you though? Like what first sparked you in this interest in intelligent automation? That's a good question there, man.
Got it. Yeah. One of the things that sparked me was my family. We owned a restaurant called Miss Big Smokehouse in St. Louis, Missouri. And when they became empty nesters, they wanted to start this restaurant. And I'm like, I'm not going to cook. I know that you love the hickory smoked meats and all of that, and the barbecue down there in St. Louis, but I'm not going to cook. But what I can do is figure out how can we make the things that you're doing a lot better and optimizing that. So this sparked that interest in me about how can I help my family, who was a factory worker and also a controller. How can I help them grow their business? And they've been doing it for over 30 years now. But how can I help them make better decisions with all decisions as a restaurant owner that they had? And I had started that right out of college. So, and I was in Indiana, just graduated from Purdue University, and they wanted their restaurant. And then I moved out here to Scottsdale, Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm like, all right, how can I do this even remotely in helping them grow? And that's what it sparked my interest. And then from there, as the technology got better, as I got better in asking better questions, that's what really sparked my interest. And then just everything, it's kind of expanded from that.
Mm. It expanded. And let's talk about that expansion, man. So you as you're expanding, I know you're expanding your knowledge and understanding, but you also got an opportunity to help, more people. You start with it started at home, which I think it should, like in the heart, and then once it starts at home in the heart, work your way out, then you can start helping others. Let's talk about maybe a success story of automation that you've helped a business improve. I
Yeah.
know.
So there's plenty of businesses that have improved, but one of the main things that I want to even tell folks is you have to sometimes just get the words out of the way and say, all right, what is intelligent automation? And they forget that. How can I make better decisions? And then from those decisions, how can I specifically make sure that we're helping people grow? And one of the companies I worked with from that was in the consumer product goods space, and they were looking at how can we expand our market reach from demand generation standpoint. And what I was able to do was we went and looked at their database of individuals that they were targeting, and we created using some different types of emerging technologies to pull the information together. And then not only when we pulled it together, we were able to market to them through direct mail, email, social media, all at the same time. So we had an omni-channel approach to their business growth. And we
Mm.
were able to grow that business about 30 to 40% over a 3-year period of time because of using these different tools to communicate and make decisions together. And and we did it with a small team. So
Mm.
Rob, it was like just 3 of us
Wow.
making all this happen for a
Wow.
multi-million-dollar company, and being able to grow because of using the automation tools in an intelligent fashion. So what I mean by that is we're able to make business process decisions faster.
Mm.
And once we're able to make those decisions faster, we were able to get better rates, better opportunities, and be able to reach people a lot faster than other of the competitors.
Right.
And not only that, utilizing the opportunity to have a full circle moment. So once they become our customers, how well do we serve them? How well do we make sure
Mm.
that we're building that relationship so they can share the love of the product to other individuals and make it easy for them to do it as well?
Mm.
And I believe that that success story of removing all these fancy terms and just break it down simple, it's how well can we communicate to each other, and then how well can we make better decisions with the information that we have.
How well can we communicate? How well can we drop everything off the counter? First of all, that do that first. And then
Right.
how well can we communicate, right? And then how well can we effectively execute?
Correct. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of co-founders and business owners fail at, and as execution place, because there's three things that I always focus on, and that is our people, our process, and then the tools that we have. People, process, and tools. And if you don't have the right type of people and where they're at with their education, there's only two things that's an issue. Either they are unwilling or unable to learn. And if they're unable, you have to look at, have you provided them with the tools or the training to be able to make those decisions that they need to make? And I think that's one of the areas that individuals really fall into, of saying, no, it must be this another shiny object. We need to make sure that we get this involved. And that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second thing, we're talking about processes. So once you have your people situation figured out, is really creating that mind map of what your processes are, and then really dialing down and using any type of mind map tool that you want, even just getting a pencil or and a piece of paper and identifying what is your processes throughout the entire organization. And once you're able to do that, you can create your simple if then, or if this, then this needs to happen, or and these different decisions need to be made. And then once you have those two things lined out, Rob, then you start looking at tools.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that a lot of executives and co-founders and they make that poor decision of, here's a new shiny AI project that's coming down that was been pitched by me by the thousands of LinkedIn pitches that come in, and they're going to help me make these decisions faster. But it's not the case. You need to slow down and focus on your people and your processes first.
Mm-hmm.
What are your business processes before you look at all the different shiny objects and tools?
Right.
Because otherwise, it's just another expense
Man,
that is going to happen.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we definitely on this subject, well, you can call us brothers from another mother of an idea, because seriously, I have many videos, people processing technology. It's not mine. I got this from somebody. It was like 70 years old and been in the manufacturing industry, and this is what he was saying. I remember it. He said, people, process, and technology. I was like, wow, take care of your people, have your standardized process, then add the right technology, intelligent technology, which would be we're speaking about right now. What are some of those misconceptions? Because there are a lot.
Right.
you know,
The
let's talk about those.
misconceptions that I've seen is that or there are two, is that one, younger folks are in the internet and technology, so they know what they're doing, and they know how to use all these different tools. And then another intelligent automation misconception is that the tools will be able to do it for them. It will be able to put all this information in a better process, and that is so wrong.
Mm.
And why is it wrong? It's not their fault. It's just that they don't know. It's when you're getting pitched by any of these technology and tools, the first question that one of these individuals need to ask is, do you have your processes lined out first? Because it doesn't matter what tools that you have if you're putting bad data inside of that tool, if you're putting bad decisions based upon your legacy processes into that new tool, you're still going to get a process or even another expense that you shouldn't have,
Mm-hmm.
that you really should not move forward with. And it is slowing down the time frame, even though there's a rush to make sure that you're hitting your profit numbers. It's almost the end of the quarter. You need to hit those numbers. You need to get those leads in. So you better make a decision quick, because you have to move forward. But there's sometimes, Rob, that it's best to slow down and understand that slow is fast and fast is slow.
You roll it right into the next. The next question is right there. Like you're right. And how do you assess a company's readiness? And how does a company assess their own readiness? Like, how do we know what we don't know? It's like, how do you see the picture when you're in the frame?
Right. And I think one of the best ways to assess your company readiness is working through your um own pain points. So one of the things that I always ask when I'm talking to a founder, CEO, is what are your pains you have right now? What is that pebble in your shoe that is irking you right now? And then from that, we reverse engineer the steps that got them there. And then from those steps that have gotten them there to that pain point, then we look at what type of implementation of automation that could either help them or be more efficient or be able to remove some of the human error that is happening. And then once you get from there, because you might find out it's not even a human error and it's not being inefficient, it's just a process issue.
Right. Right.
And then if you have a process issue, meaning we have not mapped out how this affects our entire customer journey, then we need to go back and say, is this the best thing that we want to do for our shareholders, for our customers, and for our employees? And what does that journey look like to be able to make sure that people are happily involved in our product?
Man, that's good. That's good. If you're just tuning in or you're just stumbling in, we are having an automation conversation. We've got Kendall Matthews, head of marketing of Electronique, but a guy who is leading this revolution. There is an AI revolution. I'm so sick of that word, though. I don't know why I said it. I'm so sick of the word revolution. Every time you go to ChatGPT, something revolution, but it is a revolution, man. It is unbelievable what's happening. But what's important is that we move intelligently through this revolution.
Right.
So many things that can be done. I mean, ChatGPT was the fastest growing platform in the history of platforms. Better than Snapchat. I mean, better than Facebook. Better than every other platform. Why? Because it gave people the ability to get more intelligent. Because it gave more information. But you also can get flooded with that. And so, helping to understand how to use the technology to the best of our benefit, we do that by, as Kendall was saying, doing an analysis of our organization, not only our objectives, but the issues, find out what the issues are, analyze those, come up with an understanding of how we got to this point, right? Re-engineer backwards, and that's how you start to find where your solution can come into play. That's pretty good, man. That's good. What are some factors some businesses should consider? Like, how do they know
Right. I think one of a great use case is looking at what is your onboarding and offboarding plan. So those are some of the key factors we're talking about in your automation. If you start with something that is very important to your business, and if you're looking at those different areas, like what does your offboarding look like? What does your onboard look like when you're bringing on employees and the different software? That is one of the main areas that you can really dive into, because either you have it or you don't. And it makes it a lot easier for that decision as you're getting into any type of branching or intelligent automation piece, but any type of business process. Once you start looking at that and you say, all right, I can see how this area can be improved by making my HR team a lot more effective and really making sure that our employee health is great, instead of going and checking out all these different boxes. It will help my IT team when they're building in and putting on individuals with all the different technologies that my company has to be able to work on, not just making sure that they're having the right tools, but ours is the company or my team members using the tools to the highest and best use. And so it's not replacing any one of those individuals. It is assisting them in making better decisions. And I think that goes back to your point about ChatGPT. It's not the revolution. It's understanding that they're just large language models connected with generative AI automation. And on top of that, it is artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is, if you think of it like physics, it's the study of that. And then there's different layers inside of that, for example, like machine learning and deep learning. And then all of that is encompassed by artificial intelligence. So what I believe that we need to also bring in not just the artificial intelligence, but actual intelligence, the actual human intelligence to make sure that you're not offboarding all of your decision making because you can type in to chat GPT or any type of large language model tools, some type of request, but that request might not be what you really want. It's just
Mm,
spitting out with confidence that this should be the way.
mm.
And so that intelligent part, when I'm talking about intelligent automation, I'm talking about the human piece of intelligence.
HI.
That's what the HI, right? And then putting that in the automation space.
Mm,
Because once you start removing all this and focusing on the artificial piece of it, then what you're just going ahead and leaving all the decisions to the other tools, other people that can supplant you. So
mhm.
I believe that there's three things that people need to do. And
Okay.
that is one, Rob, if you're looking at key factors, it's being able to, what is your key factors of your leadership team asking better questions and making sure that they're diving into those questions with fearlessness, not feeling that they're going to be railroaded or overridden because I'm talking to the CEO and they're making the final decision. How confident are you in that? So that's a number two factor, your confidence in making the change that needs to be done for business transformation. And then number three, which I believe that a lot of people and companies fail at, is how well do you train those people?
Mm,
That's a key factor. Is, oh, I bought another tool. I bought HubSpot Enterprise Edition. Great. Go ahead and now start building all the leads. Get all this stuff for us. It's not going to happen if you don't make sure your onboarding of training is great. So a key factor is what is your resilience or your pressure to perform and to perform at a high level with regards to giving your team enough time to really understand how to use the tools that are available, and are you willing to give them at least the 2 weeks to be able to dive into the understanding of the new tools, or 3 weeks for the new tools that they have, to be able to utilize those the best way, to be able to understand that there's a better way to be able to create different types of workflows.
mm.
Those are the three factors that I believe.
I love those factors. Those are great factors. I suggest you rewind those. I'm probably going to use them as 3 different clips. Yeah, good point. Good point. So let's talk about how intelligent automation is helping us with our customers, because so there's obviously we can get a whole lot more done with the intelligent automation, meaning the repetitive processes we used to have to do, now we don't have to do them, or our team doesn't have to do them, which now they can reallocate that energy and time in another direction. A lot of times this is customer service, better customer relations. But now from your experience, let's talk about what you've seen and how intelligent automation has enhanced this space.
Well, let's talk about more of a specific use case with regards to documents. So when a customer has they have to submit documents, especially like for healthcare, and making sure that they're not taking a long time, like your team or your specialist taking a long time to either answer those questions. Well, there's document processing tools that are available for folks to be able to analyze and understand what is the essence of this form that I'm reading. And then it was at a time where it said, all right, if I did this, then it goes to this. Well, now it's, all right, here's the different types of departments or people that need to respond to this document to make sure that it's getting the right area. And once you do that and understand that there is an invoicing team, there might be your healthcare specialist that needs to understand that. You might even have your legal department to be involved in that based upon what's inside of that document. That's, instead of having someone forward it to the next person, having the intelligence, which is the machine learning algorithms, understand what's inside of the document and then better enhance that experience for your customers with a better and faster response to the right people. And so it takes a lot less time to be able to respond, which means that enhanced customer satisfaction. And if you understand that higher customer satisfaction might equal greater scores on Google business, on your Google business profile, hopefully you have the 4 or 5 stars when people are looking at you. Hopefully you'll have even a better profiles on your Glassdoor or your Indeed when other people are looking at you for a job or employment. You have to look at it on a holistic way that is your customers are internal and external. And once you do that, how you're enhancing your entire organization to be better and more effective and more I wouldn't say friendly to work with, but more effective to work with.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. More effective. Effective. Yeah, that's good. That's
Well,
good, man.
because if you have if you're more effective, especially with that, you also infect your employees with more enjoyable experiences. Look at all those E's that I'm just throwing in there right now.
Ease.
It's just E's,
Easy. That's
right?
easy right there.
Because the opportunity with this is not just using it for the opportunity for how can be more effective, more efficient, but how can you be more enjoyable for customer and business growth? Now let's make sure that we're all clear here, Rob. That at the end of the day, it's about revenue and profit.
Mm-hmm.
And how are we able to utilize these tools to actually grow our base of
Right.
customers and make sure we grow our revenue or our profitability?
Mm-hmm.
And then how are we able to funnel those opportunities to even better opportunities, whatever the investor board or the founder wants to grow their business. And so I believe that it comes down to what is that whole entire customer experience? What is that customer journey? And using the intelligent automation tools that are available in an
Yep.
effective way to ask questions that you never had before. And that's where you can go back to, Rob, your chat GPTs and all these different types, Gemini, Bard, or Claude, whatever you want to use, is how can you effectively ask questions alone in your alone time and going back and forth using it as like your own type of board of directors that is asking you questions that might not, that your actual board or your executives might not want to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And can you answer that? Can you really dive into those questions and then say, all right, I am kind of deficient in this area based upon some of the things that I'm using this co-pilot, my little digital AI executive coach,
Mm-hmm.
helping me to make sure those decisions are being made a lot more effective.
Right.
What can I do to either automate it or remove it?
Mm-hmm.
Because Rob, there's a lot of people who want to automate everything, but they shouldn't. They should remove a lot of things first.
Right.
Let's cut some of these tools, some of these expense that we have. What is the bare minimum that we can do to make sure that we are effective with our customer satisfaction or generating the most demand generation of leads available? And
Mm-hmm.
then from there, do we have the right people to make sure that we can expand upon those things? I believe that's one of the questions that we should be asking now,
Right.
not what other tools that I can go ahead and purchase, not what other type of service provider that can help me bolt on something else. Am I making the right decisions
Yep.
for us? And have I just put on so many different layers of technologies and tools that I'm clouded with bad decisions because of the bad data that I have inside of my Excel spreadsheet?
Mm-hmm. Sounds like it's time for a power pause, ladies and gentlemen. Power pause. That's when you just take a moment to reflect, recollect, reset. You'll see, I got the R's now. You got the E's, I got the R's. We're spelling something.
There we go. There we go.
Okay. So
Right.
that's good, man. What, Kendall, tell me, I'm a futurist too. Like but I can talk about the future. Oh my goodness. I follow people like Ray Kurzweil and Peter Diamandis and these crazy people that know a whole lot and made a lot of predictions that have come true. From your perspective and your experience, man, what do you see coming up? What's the next thing, and what would you like to speak on and put people's mind around?
Gotcha. So, what I would like to speak on and put people's mind around is one of the books that I'm executing now and reading now. It's the 12-week year. And so, uh, being able to understand that things are moving so fast now, you can't wait for a year or 2 years in any of your business that you do. Every week is a month, and how fast you are able to implement those things effectively. That's what the 12-week year has been helpful for me as I reframe and as I move through my career with different opportunities and partnerships. It's how can you get off that 12-month calendar and waiting for these 4 long quarters and shrink down to the things that are most of essence that will move your business forward. And the 12-week year has been instrumental for me and then the partners that I work with now to be able to understand that, hey, I only could do so much. And there's maybe three things that I can do. And how can I do that with the highest and best use of my time and the ability of the team that I have?
That's big. Again, must be cut from some type of cloth that was similar, Kendall, because I've read that book a few times. I just made a post about it less than 48 hours ago on LinkedIn. Okay. I am now actually reviewing the summary of the 12-week year because I am not just a fan, I am a follower and a practitioner of this methodology of getting 12 months of work done in 12 weeks. Yeah, why not? And what it's really boiling down to is what you've been talking about. It's about getting organized in your thought. And when you get organized in your thought, you take better action with less waste, which
Right.
is time. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness, man. That book is incredible. I recommend that for anyone. This should be something that children get in elementary school. I'm
Right.
serious. They should
Yeah.
start understanding the concept of putting together systems and mental thought tanks that help them move forward, man. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. We should even talk about it even in the future, talking about, hey, what we've learned from it and what we've
Yeah.
implemented, because this is the pace that people need to move forward with.
Mhm.
And with how these large conglomerate media and technology companies are moving and putting information out, we're going to have to be able to move the needle with our mindset to, hey, life. And I believe, Rob, that this has been totally wrong. People say life is a marathon. I wholeheartedly don't believe that. Life is a sprint, and why is it a sprint? Well, because how long has the earth been around? A long time. And a lot of folks in the United States who have not traveled, who have not went to other countries, who, when I went to Ireland and seeing the castles that are there for hundreds of years, that's how long those have been around. But those people are not here anymore. Life goes very quickly, just like a snap. And if we think it's a marathon, we're going to miss opportunities because we have not moved fast enough on decisions because we didn't have the right information, or we're not going to be moving fast enough to be able to affect the change that we want to affect in the short time that we have on this earth. So every moment matters, and being present in that moment, because we do not know that we talked about earlier, Rob, that generational wealth that we want to be able to use and provide for our families. We don't know when our day ends.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know when that ends. So why don't we utilize the tools that are available now to help us make faster decisions, going back to intelligent automation? So it's
Yes.
just not about business, it's about life. And that's why I enjoy this so much. It's
Mm.
not about working and saying, I'm going to work on this project. No, it's working on my life and then being able to be infused with everything that I do. That's why I enjoy this, Rob. So the
Man.
intelligent automation is about how you're able to do things in your life faster, more effectively, more efficiently, with better decision now with large language models that we have access to everything, and utilizing machine learning tools that will help us build better business futures for us and our families.
Man. KendallMatthews.com/ask. Better ask somebody. Kendall, what give us your best piece of business advice and your favorite quote.
Gotcha. Well, my best piece of business advice is to, and it's probably controversial because most people probably have not read this book, and because the book is kind of old. So, but there's some, I believe that everyone in business should read this old book, maybe two of them. But I'll go with the first one, this book called Proverbs. That's one book some people should read. And another book they should read is Ecclesiastes. And those two books, and I don't know if folks have read those or not, but they're probably easy to find. And that's what my best business advice. And the favorite quote that I have is just do it.
Just do it. Yeah, that's keeping it simple. That's keeping it simple right there. Yep. You know, somebody said it was it GI Joe? What was that? G.I. Joe over there. What is that? Knowing's half the battle. Thank you. Knowing's half the battle. Knowing's half the battle. All those people who know G.I. Joe, they always know knowing is half the battle. What's the other half? Doing it. Action. Yes. So yeah, know and do. So there you go. Just do it, man. I was like, what is that again? Yeah, G.I. Joe.
Yeah, exactly. I know that, like, when I was younger, I remember at home in St. Louis on the refrigerator, my folks, because I was the first one to go to college at Purdue University, and then they had this image or a cartoon that said "Knowledge is power," and they had this person with his diplomas, and knowledge is power. But Rob, what they didn't have, which I did not understand years later, is that no, knowledge is power is false. It's execution of that knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a long time to realize it's the execution and consistent execution at that, Rob, that is the power that you get. Because a lot of us went to college, got the degrees, got the knowledge, thought they were executing, and then got laid off.
Yeah.
Because they didn't make the right decisions of, it's the execution of all this knowledge that I have to make sure that I have residual income coming in. I have the different opportunities that I'm treating myself as a business.
Yep.
And not just as a W-2, but I'm more than a W-2. I'm more than just a 1099. And I'll pause there because I will get too excited to keep talking, but just do it.
Just do it. I love it. I love it. And you're right. Knowledge is not power. As a matter of fact, wisdom, the definition of wisdom is the proper application of knowledge. So that's what you're speaking on. You want wisdom, folks. Take action with the knowledge. Wisdom is what you're going to get when you follow Kendall and what he's doing. And so what's the best way for folks to get in contact with you, find out what you're up to?
I am so easy to find online. It's crazy. But because I understand how the algorithms work, but they can go ahead. And if they have any questions that they want me to ask, I will follow up do videos on that. So you can go to kendallmatthews.com/ask and just type in their questions there. I have a form for anyone to fill out, and I will answer the questions and create videos or emails and also newsletters and put that information in there. And also connect with me. That's the best way to ask questions. I'm not going to ask you to sign up for an email list because no one wants to do that. They want to have their answers. They want to have their questions answered, and I'm here to help them do that, especially for co-founders and business owners.
Man, that's unique and that's special. I like that. So get your questions answered. Get them answered. Kendall Matthews, thanks for being on the Automation Nation podcast, my friend. And
you got it.
Listen, people, the time is now. Okay, the time is now. So the agricultural age came and went, industrial age came and went, information age came. We're still in it, but it went to something else called the digital transformation age, and we're moving into AI. And so what I'm saying is that with all these different levels come opportunities. There's always people who lose and always people who win. The people who win are the people who listen to the people who are winning or teaching the folks who are winning and taking action with the information that the people are teaching. I want you to do the same because I want you to win. Kendall wants you to win. All right. Until next time, I'm Rob House. It's Kendall Matthews, and this is the Automation Nation podcast. See you later. Welcome to the Automation Nation podcast, the show for business leaders, tech aficionados, and those who are just simply curious about where technology and business are going. Automation Nation is your gateway to understanding automation, AI, and the future of business. Don't get left behind. Tune in now and subscribe for more.